I don't know if you can see my screen.
Yeah, I can see us.
You can see my screen.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, okay. I need to. You can see the screen.
Yes, I can see this.
Uh-huh.
SMC screen.
SMC. Which one is SMC screen?
The ICT guys have a color of their candlestick, and then the SMC guys have a color.
Charlie. These people, they are just crazy people. So how far were your journey?
Right now it has been terrible. I don't know. I'm so married to my bias. I know gold will sell, and I'm still looking for buy setups.
I don't understand. Why will you know something is going to happen in one direction but you are doing the opposite?
It's just I don't trust myself. That's one thing.
So it's not about yourself. I'm sure it's about your system.
Mm,
Yeah, I'm sure it's probably about your system. So what do you see? What's most challenging for you? What do you think is the
so
most challenging step so far?
taking profits, um, but trading, revenge trading, a lot too. The list goes on and taking profit.
Mm,
Uh, Sometimes I chicken out when it's even in blues that
mm,
it may not hit and then it will reverse. And then when I exit, then now it goes odds and hits.
mm.
But sometimes when I exit, you see a reversal.
Yeah. So it's as if the trade is approaching your take profits, but you exit it too early.
Yes.
That's fear.
Pardon?
That's fear. That's fear. That's you being afraid
Yeah.
that you not hit your stop
And,
loss, you not hit your take profits.
and sometimes too, this one time it happened where it was about to hit my take profit, and then I chickened out and exited, and then market actually reversed.
Mm, yeah, what else? Then the market reversed.
Yeah,
Okay. So you said you had
mm,
difficulty taking profits.
yeah.
And what else? Do you have a system that you trust?
That's the thing. I don't have a system. I've not created. I just one thing I do is I use swing high, swing low, daily draw on liquidity, so it helps me know that I'm bullish or bearish. I look for internal range liquidity, so like fair value gap to trade from. Then one thing now I use especially is OTE. Like it really helps me.
Mm, okay. So it means that you are trading the ITC system.
Yeah.
Okay. There are so many systems out there, but I believe all of them work depending on how you use them. Some of them, are a little bit more technical than what's it called, the others, and some too are manageable. So if you look at what's it called, trading, I mean you have to identify what kind of trader you are first of all. How do I move this thing? I'm trying to move this thing, but it's like it doesn't want to move. Uh-huh. I don't know if you can see my screen.
Yes, I can see
So
this.
I've seen that your problems. You see, in trading, I actually believe that trading is divided into two. It's just like any other business. Every other business is divided into two. You have a you have the psychological side. There's psychological side to everything, and then you have the technical side. So if you want to run a business, first of all, you have to have a very strong mind for business. You need to know why you are running the business. You need to know what kind of business you want to run. You need to know how long you are planning to run the business. You need to know what goods or what services you are going to partake in the form of business for you. And then you have the technical side. If you are running a business, you need to know how to balance the books. You need to know how to uh, you know read an income statement, read a cash flow statement. You need to know what gross profit is. You need to know how to balance the books. You need to know how to log your inventory. You need to know how to. Those are technical things. Those are mathematical things that you go to school to learn. But you realize that there's one thing that nobody will ever teach you, which is the psychological side of everything. I'm sure every time you go to work, you know the compounds that you can combine to make medications. But I don't think there's anybody out there who has told you how to deal with someone who has come to you to buy tramadol. No, and you know very well that the person is going to abuse it. I'm sure nobody has taught you how to deal with a situation like that. Those are more psychological, more mental and experience. Type of problems that people usually come across. And it's the same thing for trading. So I've seen that your problems are divided into two. The first one, the second one are more on the psychological side. And then the last three, the system, and then the type of trader you are, and then the particular technical approach that you use for the whether you use for trading also falls as a second category of problems, which is the technical aspect of the problem. So right now you are already learning the system. The problem that a lot of us usually encounter, I can speak for myself because I encountered that problem, was in the beginning when I was starting out. I was learning a lot of different systems. So I started off by learning just basic support and resistance. This is a support level, this is a resistance level, this is a trend line support or a trend line resistance. That's how I started. I learned that, and I wasn't seeing any results at the time. So I moved on to go and learn what's it called? Supply and demand. Supply and demand was the next thing I learned. So trying to identify what an order block is. So that's where even order blocks and things started from for me. I didn't know anything about ICT or whatever. I just knew supply and demand, order block, and then the candle ranges, and then high, low, basic stuff. Yes, until then I moved on to the next style of trading, which was the SMC. Actually, it's SMC before I finally arrived at ICT. So SMC style of
Mm,
trading, they were saying you need to wait for what's it called? You need to. So they actually SMC actually opened my mind to actually identifying like structure from what's it called order flow ranges, and then from momentum. Those are very very different things. You need to know what structure is, you need to know what order flow is, and then you need to know when there's momentum. The momentum is actually what's going to make you like enjoy trading, because when you're trading with momentum on your side, it's very very enjoyable, and it's less stressful on your mind, knowing that the market has moved all the way, straight to your take profits in the shortest period of time.
mm,
So that was the third style of trading for me. And then the last one finally was ICT. For ICT, actually, I didn't go anywhere because I just started learning ICT and I realized that this is not for me. And because they were
mm,
talking about liquidity and other, and me, I'm a very practical person. When you say there's something here, like liquidity here, liquidity there, I want it to be very, very objective. How do you know there's liquidity here? How do you know prices is supposed to go to this high or to this low before reversing, or is supposed to go to this fair value gap or not to this fair value gap? So I realized that ICT was more predictive. You predict where what will happen, or you are actually predicting what is going to happen, which is like making a forecast. And I've come to realize that in trading that doesn't work for me. I don't know how to make predictions. Actually, I learned how to do predictions with basic support and resistance plus Fibonacci when I was starting to trade. And that one was actually very, very, very bad. Like it was very, very like it really, really hurts me a lot at that time, because when you predict and then you take action on it, you are going to lose. You don't have anything supporting that, especially if you don't really have a system that's working. and then you go all the way to start predicting. All the ICT traders that I've seen out there, no, they've actually learned a system before they arrived at ICT. So they already have the
Mm.
basics. They already have the basics. They have a solid basis. So when they come to learn ICT, they are only building on top. ICT is like it's more of a refinement. If you learn ICT as a beginner, it's sometimes very difficult to actually understand the concepts and pick it up. But some people actually are able to understand it and make very, very good use of it. But for me, at least, I felt like it was very, very difficult at the time until I learned, like I went back to support and resistance and I understood the concepts very, very well. And then I got some experience under my belt. That's when I started to realize the whole story about ICT, like what a breaker block actually truly is, what a fair value gap truly is, why they will say that this is a weak low or a weak high, or why they will say that there's liquidity here or there's no liquidity here. And I mean, I also take some courses in economics. So I mean, when you read a little bit of economics and I mean, I'm talking about macroeconomics, and you understand like what's it called, basic supply and demand, or even when you go deeper and then you read on the foreign exchange markets and you truly understand what moves the market. There's something called the invisible hand. It's not a person, it's not a thing, it's not an institution. Like ICT usually preaches, he preaches that there's an institution or there's a market maker somewhere who is trying to take your small coins away.
Mm.
There's actually nobody like that. It's just a simple principle in economics. It's just a market, what's it called? It's an invisible hand. It's a collective human psychology that moves prices. So for you to say that someone is sitting down somewhere looking through some order book, trying to take out your $500, I mean accounts. I mean, I don't think that's true. Even though I don't have any evidence to show that this is not true, or to call him a liar. So I can't call him a liar. I can only say that it doesn't work for me. So I don't really employ that style of trading, even though I use similar concepts, but it's not really the same. So the first thing I want us to do, first of all, we are identifying your problems. We are going to, I mean, identify the problem, and I've realized that your problems are in two folds. You have the technical problems and then the psychological issues. The psychological issues are actually the most important, but the thing is that you cannot tackle them until you learn the technicals. But the psychological ones are the most important, to be frank with you. But we cannot tackle them until you've learned some good technicals and then you are able to use the technicals that you have learned to build some confidence. The more you start building confidence in your system and in yourself, the more you'll be able to control the psychological challenges that also come with trading. So the first thing we're actually going to do is to build a solid, what's it called, a solid system, a system that you can use, a repeatable system, one that you can today when you come and you look at the chart and you see A, B, C, D, and E, you know that this is the kind of setup that you're looking at, and you know exactly what to do. And then tomorrow when you come, you can easily repeat the same pattern again. I don't know if you get me.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So, so first things first. Everybody, I mean, you already understand the basics of trading. You know the tools to use. You know how to use TradingView. You know how to use MT4. You know what a brokerage is. I'm sure you have a brokerage. You have deposited money already. You've started trading already, and I'm sure you've made some profits just as well as losses. It's normal in the market.
Yeah.
So right now, I don't know how you determine your what's it called. What's it called? How you determine your structure? We are going to start from structure. Structure is usually the basics of everything. So if you understand structure, you will be able to understand almost everything else. So this market, will you see? What will you say the structure is? I don't know if you can see the chart.
Yeah, it's bullish.
So why is it bullish?
It's forming higher highs and higher lows
Okay,
continually.
okay. So I wish actually I've actually made you project your screen so that I'll be asking you questions and I want you to actually be the one doing it so that way you'll be able to learn. If I'm the one moving it, I'll be
So,
picking out a lot of the things without actually letting you be involved. I would have preferred that you share your screen, but for this first meeting, I'll share my screen and then we'll continue. Maybe the subsequent ones, we'll try and get you to share your screen so that I mean, I'll just be in the background giving the instructions and then you removing them so that we can see how we can also get involved in it.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
so basically, structure is is a is fractal. I don't know if you've heard of fractal, the fractal nature of price before, right?
Yes, please.
Whatever
It happens on time frame.
exactly. So whatever happens on the higher time frames is the same thing that happens on the lower time frame. So for each candle that you see, each candle, my keypad is currently having a problem, so I'll just have to be zooming in manually. So for each candle that you see, like this particular candle, this is a daily candle. I don't know, this is yesterday's candle, Tuesday. You can see that it was a very bearish candle. Can you see it?
Mm.
So for
Yes.
this bearish candle, if we go to the 1 hour chart, we'll be able to see that that bearish candle entails a lot of smaller candles, a lot of 1 hour candles, because in each of that daily candles, you have multiple small candles. So Tuesday actually began here. Uh-huh. So Tuesday, this is 12 a.m. So Tuesday actually began here, and then the Tuesday ended here. You can see it. So
Yes.
that single candle that we saw no, actually when you go to the lower time frame, let's go down further. Let's go down to the 15 minutes. You see that it was actually a nice trend on the 15 minutes. So you can see low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low. Then we had equal highs or a double top, and then the price just started consolidating. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah.
Uh, so this is exactly what has happened within that daily candle. So you can see that in this daily candle, all you needed to do was just find a place to short it. You could have short from here, 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 you could have short from here. You understand?
Yeah.
So your job is just to follow the trend. So now the question is, where do you pick your structure from? That's always the question. And that's the one thing a lot of people that are studying forex they mix up or they miss out on. Where do you pick your structure from? If I pick my structure from here, so if I say right now that the market is making higher highs and higher lows, let's say that this was the previous high, right? And this was the previous low. So so what one thing I need to mention is that I have a way that I define structure and a way that I define momentum. I mean, a way that I define the order flow. Okay. Structure is the overall trend. So this is structure. Structure is bullish here. This is the low here, down here. It has gone up to make a high, come down to make a low, and then it started consolidating. You understand? It started consolidating here. So
Yeah.
for this particular trend, this is a bullish structure. You understand? Because we were creating higher highs and higher lows. From the down here, I don't know where it started from. We created this high, created this low, right? And then we made a higher high, and we made a higher low. Then we just created a new higher high. You understand?
Yeah.
So structure on this weekly time frame is bullish. So, but it is not this structure that we are going to trade on this time frame, on this weekly time frame. We don't care about structure on a weekly time frame unless that's why I'm saying it depends on the type of trader that you are. Unless you are a position trader or even if you are a swing trader, you don't care about this. It's only position traders that care about structure on a weekly time frame. What we care about on a weekly time frame is the order flow. So you can see that even though this structure was bullish, right? The order flow here
Yeah.
at some point in time was bearish. It was coming down. At some point in time here, it was bearish. You understand? At some point in time here,
Yes,
it was
please.
bearish order flow high, bearish order flow low, bearish order flow high, bearish order flow low. Then it switched to bullish. So now the order flow now aligned with the structure. Do you understand? The
Yes,
order
please.
the order flow now aligned with the structure here. So now we're now making order flow highs and lows in what's it called? In
Bullish.
confirmation with the bullish structure. I don't know if you get the
Yes,
idea I'm trying
please.
to paint.
Yes, please. I get
Uh-huh.
it.
Yeah, so the point I'm simply trying to make is that structure is the high and the low and the high, right? But
Yes.
you have they call it some people call it is the fractal nature of price, but I don't call it structure. I call it order flow because that's what determines what decision you are going to make now. It's not a structure that you are going to follow. It is a decision that you are going to make now. That's what matters. You understand? Sometimes you can go like this
Yes.
and fix some people and then come down, hit a high, hit a low, hit a high, come all the way down, then pull all the way up, come down like this, then start to go back up again. You understand? The market will never go in one direction smoothly. It always creates some form of order flow as it so it's the order flow. That's currently what is happening. That's the flow. That's what you are going to follow. You get me?
Yes.
Uh-huh. So in this example that I'm using for you for euro yen, you can see that the structure is bullish, but and the order flow right now too is bullish. And you need to know something that the market is it moves in cycles. When you have a low and then you have a high, and then you have a low and then you have a high, what are you expecting next? What are you expecting next in a formation like this?
High. Another higher high.
Yes, from this high, from a higher low, right? From a higher low.
Yes.
So your job is to a lot of people. If you look at what trading is just about predicting where this higher low will form. Some people will predict it to stop here. Some people will predict it to come and stop here. Some people will see it to come lower. Some people want it to come all the way to give us a double bottom. You understand? I don't know if
Yes,
you get me.
please.
So the question is, where will the market stop? Will the market stop here, or the market will stop here, or the market will stop at the bottom here? So that's where the
Mm.
differences. That's where the differences come in. ICT will say that the market will stop at a place where we have a fair value gap, or where we have a breaker block, or where we have an order block. I don't know if you get me.
Yes, please.
Fibonacci traders will see that the market will stop. Fibonacci traders will say that the market will stop at the 61.80 level, which is this level, or at the 78.6 level, which is this level. Then support and resistance people will say that there's a resistance here, so this is where market will stop, or the market will come here and give us a double bottom, or they've seen some consolidation here and they it has some nice resistance up here, so this is where the market will likely stop. So that's where the differences come. Everybody has agreed, every trader has agreed that when the market is making a high and a low and a high and a low and a high, we are expecting the market to make a higher low to make a higher high, right? Everybody has agreed to this. But
Yes, please.
but a difference in system now comes from where will this higher low form? This higher low. Where will it form? Will it form up here on the resistance level? Will it come here to the support level? Will it come to a demand zone here? Will it come to a fair value gap? Will it come to an ICT OTE? Or will it come to a Fibonacci 78.6? That's where the differences come. Everybody now goes, now pass ways and then goes to their school. They will determine what they want to use and how comfortable they are using it. You see?
Mm.
So right now, I don't. You've already started learning ICT. So you see that this is the problem with like teaching someone who is already trading. You understand? Because you are trading with one system, and if I'm going to teach you
Mm.
the way that I trade, I'm going to teach you a completely different system, which I can't even promise is going to be beneficial to you because it's not every I've paid money for courses that have taught me supply and demand, but right now I'm not even using supply and demand because it doesn't work as smoothly as I would have loved it to work for me.
Mm.
You get the point?
Get
uh-huh.
you.
so
I've paid for courses too, but
uh-huh.
uh,
So the point I'm trying to make is that everybody in the end you are going to find your own truth.
true.
That's how the market is. Everybody will find their own truth. The market reveals your truth to you. That's just how it is. The market will tell you exactly how it wants you to trade it. I've seen some people that trade some funny, nasty way, but they are making a lot of money.
Mm.
I've seen this guy, Jeffrey Benson.
Yeah.
If you look at the way Jeffrey Benson trades, it doesn't even. Sometimes you look at it and what's it called, and you don't even understand what he's doing, but it works for him.
Yeah.
Sometimes he can just look at markets like randomly, and then he's taking a buy, and he really cannot like what's it called, break it down like technically for anybody to understand. Like how an ICT trader will say that okay, this is a high, this is a low, this is liquidity, this is a fair value gap, this and this and this and this all put together. So I think the market will go in this direction. He doesn't trade that way. Sometimes he just looks at the market and just say let's sell, let's sell. You understand?
Yeah.
And that's because he has found his shoot. He has found something that works for him, and he has used it to make a lot of money. Like, and I mean, when I see the success that he's accruing, Charlie, is really, really impressive.
Yeah.
So in the end, the point I'm trying to make is that in the end, everybody will find their truth. So the point I'm trying to make is that when, in terms of trading, whatever it is that I'm going to teach you right now, you will learn. Eventually, you will learn something from it, but it doesn't mean that's what you are going to use to also make your,
True.
to build your own story. In the end, you might even throw it away and realize that it has even caused you more problems than it has solved your problems.
True.
Uh-huh. So now, the system I use is simple. It's simple support and resistance. But the
Mm.
thing is that I told you that I am not. I always keep repeating this, and people keep asking. I am not a predictive trader. I am a reactive trader. I hope I beat this one. The difference is clear. It's obvious.
Yes, please.
Uh-huh. I don't try to predict price. I just react. I react to price. I don't predict it. Let me give you an
Mm.
example of a trade that I took. This was on USD JPY. This particular trade. So let me go through and show you how I broke this down to be able to pick out that trade, and then I'll explain it further. So I usually start my day or my analysis on the weekly chart. I
Okay.
sometimes look at the monthly chart, but I don't do anything on the monthly chart. I just look at it. I just look at it because sometimes it's nice. So when you look at this monthly chart, this one is ugly because there are so many questions. The questions are, we have support here. Me, I don't really do I use support and resistance, right?
Yeah.
We have the market rejecting something here. And one other thing that I need to add is that I use round numbers. I use round numbers a lot because I realize that they make trading simple to understand.
Yes.
So the question is, why is the market rejecting this particular level multiple times? Like this, that's just the question. But the other question too I want to ask is, the market also kept rejecting these highs. Okay, this one is currently not a rejection because we don't know what's this. So right now, I don't know what the market wants to do. All I can say is that I don't want to go. I can go higher. So if you are always in doubt, just go to a higher time frame. You see it clearer.
Mm.
So on this, we can decide to go to the 3 monthly chart. But you see that we are going far, far, far. All these from the daily going on, we are not going to make any decisions based on that. We are just going to use it to understand what is happening. I don't know if you get me.
Yes, please.
So right now, I don't like this structure. So usually, what I can just do is that I can go higher. I still don't like the structure, and I can go higher. Now I like this one. Now I like the structure, and you see that it's simple. On this higher time frame, what I can see is that the structure is bullish, right?
Mm.
Structure
Yes,
is
please.
structure is bullish. uh But what is order flow doing? Order flow too is bullish. You can see order flow here: low, high, low, high, low. You see the order flow.
Yeah.
That one too is bullish. And the rejections I was seeing is coming from this particular candle. The last half of 2024. This particular candle, it got rejected. This new candle opened and came down, got rejected, and then we now have this last candle going up. So it tells you that this, so I call this a support level. This is a very, very, very key support level. So I simply just, convert it to a round number. So here we can have 140. Let's try 140,500 and see if it will work. 140,500 works perfectly. So that is my round level. So I can go back down, and I already mentioned that this doesn't influence the decision I'll make, right?
Mm.
I'm just keeping it there because I want the whole I want you see you are trying to build a story. You want it to make sense.
Yes, please.
You want to build a story to tell yourself that okay, because of this and this and this and this, I want to short the market.
Okay.
So now you can see that my the support and resistance is actually clear here now. You can see that every time that the market comes to the 140,500 level, it bounces.
Yes.
Let me connect my channel to the PC. Uh, yeah, so can I continue?
Yes, please.
So now we are going down. Okay. So now I know that overall the market is trying to head to the upside. This market is trying to head in this direction.
Mm.
Why? Because I had these rejections, these support rejections. They are telling me that this, and currently the order flow on this time frame is towards the upside. You can see it is trying to go up. So on the weekly time frame too, I don't do anything. I just look at the order flow, and on the weekly time frame, you can see that the market is going up, up, up. So this is where what is it called? I saw the opportunity. Right, the market was still here. That was 2 weeks ago. No, this trade was from last week. Okay, it was this candle. The market was still here, and I realized that this is an engulfing candle, very very strong bullish sentiment. So I went low. This is where I took the trade for. So now I'm trying to build a story as to why I want to buy or I want to, buy in this market, right? So I realized that if I want to buy, this will be my target. So now I'm looking for reasons, like what reasons can I use to support my buying? The buying that I want to buy. We have a support here, and the market perfectly tapped onto that support. So we can quickly just change this to 800 round number, right? And then
Yes.
this will be my support. So I'll change it to blue. So and the next thing is that if the price is very close to this level, I don't use it as my take profit. I use my Fibonacci as my take profit. So I just do this and then I mark out my Fibonacci minus 28, minus 27 rather. Just switch it to 100, 155. That's a round number. And then I delete this. So I go back down to 4H. So before I go back down to the 4H, let's go back onto the daily. I can see that this market is making higher highs and higher lows. This is a higher low, this is a higher low, this is a higher low, right? And then
Yes.
I saw this bearish candle pull back down. So I was expecting another higher low somewhere in there, but I didn't know where. So you can see that if I was an ICT trader, I would have been looking at this fair value gap. I don't know if you see what I'm saying. Oh, I'm trying to pull this thing and it's just tricking me. Forget about it. I'm not an ICT trader. I'm just trying to just show you something. Yeah, so
Mm.
let me switch on my lights. I can see. Uh-huh. So I can see that me, I use support and resistance, and I can see that we have a trend line resistance here. I mean, we have a trend line support right here. Can you see it?
Yes,
So I
yes.
can go down to the 4H time frame, and on the 4H time frame, so this is where I make most of my decisions. This is where you see me drawing a lot of my zones. So I saw this level. Anytime I see an accumulation like this, I look for the level that the market is reacting to, and I trace it back to see how strong the level is. So when I saw this accumulation level, I just looked at the level, and it was the 151,600 level. So I asked myself, if this 151,600, if I trace it back, it doesn't look strong. And you can see here, it reacted here as a resistance, and then it reacted here as a support, right?
Mm,
So
yes,
per the way I trade, this is very, very strong for me. So I'll simply just mark it out. And then, so now I have how many reasons? I have a trend line here. I have a support level here. I have my Fibonacci level there. I have the Fibonacci. You can see this is a 38 point something level here.
yes.
So this is a level that's I am just waiting for the price to come, and then I look for a confirmation to enter the price for a buy. You understand? And this particular trade, I waited for it so much that when the trade came, I was asleep. The trade came into the zone around around this time. It was 12 a.m., 1 a.m. So I missed the trade. You see. But when I woke up in the morning, I realized that the market. Okay, so I also use patterns. I forgot to mention. The market made a low, high, low, then it broke structure. So this is an inverse head and shoulder pattern, and this is the break of the neckline. This is the neckline. You understand?
Yes, please.
So the next opportunity was for me to wait for a pullback into this neckline, and then I'll take a buy with my stop loss below, and then target my take profit level, which is this level. That's where 1:4. I don't know if you get me.
Yes, please. I get you.
So you can see that I started from the top all the way down to build. I had the from the weekly. I knew that this trade would likely go bullish because the structure is bullish, the order flow is bullish. So I was just waiting for the momentum. So this is where momentum comes in. You can see the type of candles that are forming here. So ICT will say that you are looking for displacement, or you are looking for evidence to show that the market is going in one direction, which is evidenced by the fair value gaps. But
Mm,
as a support and resistance area, we don't call it a fair value gaps or displacement. We call it momentum. You want to see the market charging aggressively in one direction. That's what will tell you that the market wants to go in that direction.
but please come again. I didn't understand.
I'm saying ICT traders will call it displacement. They'll call it
Mm,
displacement. Yeah, they'll call it displacement, or they'll call it fair value gaps.
yes, please.
Because it shows that there's momentum, there's buying momentum.
Mm,
But we don't call it, we the trend line. I mean, we the support and resistance traders. We don't call it momentum. We don't call it fair value gaps or displacements. We just call it momentum. You get me?
okay.
And you can see
Yes.
on this pullback too, we had the same trend line retest over there. The same thing we saw on the daily, we are seeing it here again. So all you have to do
Yes.
is mark out your resistance level, which coincides with your trend line. Mark out your Fibonacci level. So you are looking for reasons to buy at that level. And you can see it aligns perfectly with this Fibonacci line. This particular 153, this one. So we can just
Mm,
trace a line, which is here. Then we delete our Fibonacci. And then simply we go lower and look for confirmation when the market comes there. That's all. So the moment the market comes into the level, which is here, so you can see that this one, the market didn't give us an opportunity to enter. This was a confirmation. This giant bullish candle,
mm,
that was a confirmation, but it didn't give us an opportunity to enter. The market pulled back here before going back up. When I came, I met the trade around here. That was at 6:15 a.m.
mm,
So I just looked at, if you look at this, we have the momentum moving to the upside with the support level. So I was just looking for the market to bounce off that level. So when the market came, I took my buy. After this bullish engulfing candle, I just took my buy and then I kept my stop loss right below here, hoping that momentum will carry us. And as you can see, I think this trade I closed for like a 1:5, which was around somewhere here.
mm,
So I took this trade and in less than, it wasn't even up to like 1 hour or so, and then the market hits my take profits 6:30, and I closed the trade at 8:15. That was like 2 hours.
mm,
So you see that the decision making process is a story. It's a story that you are creating for yourself.
mm,
You want to look for all possible reasons to support the decision that you are about to make.
yeah,
So it's just about who you are. Are you a trendline trader? Are you a support and resistance trader? Are you a supply and demand trader? Are you an ICT trader? I can break this down in ICT's language, and you see that it was the same trade that ICT would have taken. Because if we look at it, let's go to the daily, and let me show you how ICT would have taken this. So ICT would have said that we have this fair value gap here, right?
mm,
So you want to see markets come into that fair value gap, and then you want to see displacement out of the fair value gap. So here is your displacement. This is a fair sign that the market wants to move in the opposite direction. You see the displacement,
yeah,
and you can see that the opposing PDRAs were failing. This was failing. It failed to hold price. Here, you can see price closed above it. Here, it
mm,
almost closed above it. It didn't close above. So this PDRA was failing and whatever. And you can see that price also came and what's it called? And I was seeing some it should be on the higher time frame. This is a previous day low. That's so this previous day low and this one price swept liquidity off of the low. It's here. This low. So you can see that we took liquidity here. Then we went to the upside and then we tapped into this PDRA, this one. You understand?
yeah,
And then that's now a swing point. Then price came back to it and took liquidity off of it. And afterwards, it created a PDRA down here. Remember, if we take external range liquidity, which is here, we are coming back down to internal range liquidity.
yes, please.
So once the price just pulls back down into this fair value gap, you are now looking for, you can go down to a 15 minutes or the 5 minute time frame to look for displacement. Right now, you are just looking for displacement within that level. And there's your displacement. This bullish candle out of it, that's your displacement. So all you have to do is to take your trade when the price comes back to that fair value gap, which is here, and then place your stop loss below the low of the candle, and then target a 1:2. Simple. So this is how ICT would have taken the trade. I don't know if you get me.
Yes, please.
So the only reason why I know how to do this is because I understand structure. So
Mm,
because of the time we are meeting, like this is just like an introduction for you to see that the concepts that I use, mostly support and resistance, with the order flow, and then with momentum. And however, I
mm,
mean, because of the experience I have with other styles of trading, sometimes I can include some of the other things that I see just because I want more evidence to point to the direction that I want to take the market.
okay.
So it's just about putting confluences together and seeing that at this particular level, I think the market has a higher chance to go in this direction than it does in going in the opposite direction, and then you execute.
Mm.
You understand?
Hmm.
I was
Hmm.
able to capture. I think I made this. I made one of my last YouTube videos. I mentioned that I was waiting for this to happen on this Euro USD. Where I saw the momentum shifted bearish, and I missed this
Hmm.
one. And I was saying that I was waiting for the market to make a higher low somewhere here, and I actually captured this trade. It was such an amazing trade. This particular trade, this one. I was able to get the shots. It's in one of the videos. I think it's the most recent video that I uploaded, so you can check it out and see. I took a shot from
Okay.
somewhere here all the way down. I didn't even hold it all the way down to there. So I was targeting the overall target, which was down here. You see this double bottom, or ICT will say there's
Mm.
liquidity there. I see it as a weak low simply because the structure was bearish. So I was just waiting for a reason to enter and then take the market all the way down to this. But I didn't take my profit. I took my profit somewhere here. This trade actually made me a lot of money. Just that trade alone, I made like 5,000 cities.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, the funny thing about me is that I don't trade in dollars. A lot of people just talk about dollars, dollars, dollars. But I feel like if you can't even make money in your home currency, then Charlie, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I just trade Ghana cedis. A lot of people say a lot of things about it, but I really don't care because I know that even in the Ghana cedis, I'm killing it.
Yeah.
So if
It's
I can
true.
make $1 million, yeah, if I can make 1 million in Ghana cedis, I can make 1 million in any currency.
Yeah.
So I just enjoy trading in Ghana cedis. It's fun. It's fun to see when you see that you are losing 1,000 cedis. It's more painful than when you see that you are losing $100 because you can't really feel the effect.
Yeah.
And when you see that you are making, I think the biggest profit I've made on the trade was like 28,000. And when you see like I'm talking about one single trade. When you see
Ish.
when you see that 28, like when you see the figure, the value, then you know it's more. You feel it more than when it's in dollars. When it's in dollars, you are now calculating in your head, oh, how much is this?
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah, yeah. So some of the time is going. So this is just an introduction. Hopefully, we can get more time to go through the nitty gritty. So we'll take each of them. I'll so that when like draw out a nice schedule so that we'll take each of them. We'll take structure.
Okay.
So like I said, the next time you open the chat and then I'll let you explain to me what you think structure is and then I'll correct you on like some of the things. That way, I
Okay.
mean, once since you are the one doing it and I'm correcting you, it will be able to stick faster than me just showing you how I do it.
Okay.
So we'll start from
Thank
structure,
thank
then
you very
we'll
much.
go
Thank you
down.
so much.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll start
I
from structure
appreciate
and then we'll go down in that order.
it. Thank you.
Yeah, so far, do you have any question or I can end the video?
No, for now, no.
Okay, yeah, and that's cool. I'm awaiting some trade B. This trade pound Aussie. I think this one I'm just telling you because I mean you're also a trader, so I'm expecting this thing to sell. I want it to sell very very hard, all the way down here. But my
Okay.
my fear is that this week is NFP, so I don't know if the
Yeah.
NFP will even come on because they said U.S. banks have shut. I mean U.S. government has shut down and what. I
Yeah.
can't even. You can see that the news is not even here. I can't see it. I can see news for uh, this in New Zealand. This is an Australian news balance of trade, and I can see Bank of England interest rate decision, but I can't see any NFP or anything like that. Or maybe it's
Mm.
because it's not a USD pay. Let's go to a USD pay. You see, even on the USD pay, it's not there.
Hmm.
Okay,
The bank
okay, it's
has.
there.
Okay, it's clear.
It's there. Yeah, it's here. Yeah, okay. So hopefully, I think I'm just praying that this short can happen before NFU. NFU, anytime it comes, it disrupts the technical small. But sometimes
Yeah.
when things are aligned, when you take a trade, NFU will come and just go in the direction of the technicals, and it's so nice.
True. true.
In fact, most often
I've
that's what I
tried
see.
it 2 times, but
Yeah, yeah. So I'm just hoping that this trade will play out. So that's the reason why I'm still not asleep. I was trying to see if I can get some confirmation, but I can see that the trade even beats that level. I even like it more now that it has shot up like this. So you can see that a supply and resistance trader will tell you that we are going to this other block, and then an ICC trader will tell you that there's this fair value gap. Then me as a trader will tell you that I have a Fibonacci here. It has hit the 78.6. So you can see that I'm putting in a lot of like reasons why I think the market should sell from there. So in the end, this is the level, this is the box that I would prefer. Oh shit, I would want to see the market sell from this box, from this level to this level. So that's just where I'm looking for price. So I can delete everything else, and I'm just waiting to see if price can give me a reason to sell this thing from this box.
okay.
Yeah.
What reason would that be?
So that will be the order flow, the order like the state of delivery of price on the lower time frame.
Okay.
So I can go down. So I don't use one time frame. I mean the time frames they are just like uh, they show you they show you how am I going to say it? It's like you see when a camera has like a zoom feature.
Yeah.
You can zoom in and zoom in and zoom in and zoom in as much as you want. The
Yeah.
time frames just show you that. So I usually don't like sticking to one time frame. If I'm not seeing something very well, I just go lower. I just try to go lower.
Mm,
When you go lower, you are zooming in onto the price, and then you can see things nicely. So right now, just this box. This is all I just want to see how price will react. So if I see something like, I want to see the market come down small, then go back up, or even when it's going back up, I want to see it go back up like this. Then I want to start to see it fail. I want to start to see it fail, like maybe even go and give us like some fake out of this level, and then one nice bullish candle, I mean bearish candles drop here below this level. And once
mm,
I see this, I don't even wait for a pullback. I'll just take the trade. I'm not even going to wait for a pullback.
mm,
I'll just take the shot, and then my stop loss above. Then I'm going to target the overall price level that I have below, which is here. That's like a 1 is to 5.5.
mm.
So if for a trader like this, you can just risk 1,000 CDs on it, and that's almost
Mm,
6,000 CDs.
yeah.
Uh, so that's if the market should stop here, because my overall target is even here. So it's possible to make about 11,000 CDs on this.
Wow.
But the problem with these pairs is that they consolidate a lot. You can see the consolidation.
Yes.
And because there's plenty news events now, they will not move. They will just wait. When the news events come in, you just move in the right direction at once. Then you miss it. And that's the problem with them. That's why I'm just waiting to see if I can get a confirmation and get inside, and the price will move small for me to break even before the news comes out.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah, Charlie. So we've done something today. So
yeah.
hopefully, I don't know. Maybe during the week we can try and see if we can meet again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Sure. Thank you very much
All right,
for.
Charlie. You're welcome.
Thank
So
you
me
so
too.
much.
Yeah.